Welcome to another edition of the Herron Talks podcast. We are so excited. Somebody told me the other day that they think that I am the unofficial fan club president for Connie Segovia.
You are.
And
it's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. And I might be.
I'm a fan too.
I'm an honorary Beehive member, and so maybe I'm also an honorary Connie Segovia fan club member. So. And so that is who our special guest is again today. We've had Connie on before. Her story is amazing. What she does is amazing. She and her husband, Irving, who is probably the secret sauce that we're going to get to talk to, because he's actually here today. So we're going to talk to Irving as well. But what they do is really amazing. So in this business where we stand up and applaud people for closing, play transactions, and you're like, oh, you're doing a great job, you're getting amazing. She closed 124 deals last year, right? Like it was nothing. She's already over 100 this year, and does it effortlessly. If you follow her on Instagram, you also see not only does she work hard, she plays hard, chilling in the south of France.
Hey.
Staying in the chateau. And she went at the Residence Inn, and she was in pictures. This the chateau we hanging out in.
Right.
My vacation pictures. We at the pool at the Marriott. We chilling at the Marriott. We balling at the Marriott. But this it's a really cool thing, and I think what I like the most is it's not from Connie didn't come from a privileged kind of, we'll find a lot of real estate agents who came from a very privileged background. So they knew their parents were doctors and lawyers, and so they kind of ran into a crowd of people who already had a big base of business that they could go get. Now she went and kind of started this from scratch and built this from the ground up, and now she has a referral business that's out of this world because she takes such great care of the people that she works with, and they are quick to send her more business. And now she's closing something literally every other day, right? Literally. That's not hyperbole.
Right,
that's every other day, and she's just a really cool, down-to-earth person, because I don't know how it would be if I was closing something every other day. I don't think I would be.
You would have a real big head, I feel. we wouldn't be able to talk to you.
Really? You like that? Y'all know better than that. I wouldn't be like that. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. If I could just jump up and go to the south of France and then come right back and that kind of stuff, I probably would be a little different.
Like Dion or something.
Nah, like Dion said, I wouldn't be quite like Dion. But so, welcome, Connie Segovia.
Thank you so much for having me again.
And this is great. And now we get to have the great Irving, who is also with us today. And
thank you. Thank you for inviting us.
No, we talked a lot about you on the last one when you weren't here. So we told Connie the next time she was on, you would have to be here because we got a lot of questions for you too, right?
Right.
So what I want to start with, though, real quick, because this is crazy. And of course, Bonita's here. Bonita's back. Bonita's in and out. We never know. She's, allegedly.
Bonita's trying to get like Connie.
Bonita's trying to be like Connie.
Okay.
Or at least halfway. It's a lot.
It is a lot of work. You got this. There. You can do it.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can do it. You can do it. And so here's how I want to start, though, Connie. Right now in this market, there are a lot of real estate agents in the capacity that I'm in, so I have to talk to a lot of agents, train agents, coach agents, and a lot of them will say to me, Al, it's just such a tough market, the interest rates are high, and I can't make this happen. And they start talking about, hey, do I need to go look for a 9-to-5 job? And every time somebody does this, so if you ever are talking to me, and you start talking about that, and I start humming the, you'll hear me go, dun, 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 the song by Dolly Parton, 9 to 5.
Yeah.
That's how it starts. And I start to kind of hum
really?
9 to 5 while they're talking.
You never heard?
I've never
Dolly
heard.
Parton.
You never heard that?
She's heard that song.
You just, yeah, you heard it. You just
don't know the name of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what she's singing about, this 9-to-5 job that she has, and so I just started kind of humming that as they start talking, and they just stop. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? See, you ever heard that song, 9-to-5 by Dolly Parton? I said, so is that what we're about to talk about? Because I was, we'll do that together, or are we going to talk about a solution that allows you
a game plan?
Yeah.
And so, help me help them, right? How is it that you, no matter what the market situation is like, are able to still, so you did 124 transactions last year, 124 by yourself, well, with Irving, of course. But you also have a team, and they did another whatever. But by yourself, you did 124.
Yes.
And so far, this year by yourself, you've done like 105.
Right.
And this is
September.
Early September, right?
Yes.
The Cowboys haven't even disappointed yet. we early September.
Right.
And so you already had 105 transactions. So how does that happen in a market where everybody says it's too tough, I can't make it happen? What's the difference?
I really think it's mindset. I think it's very important that you speak things into existence, that you manifest it. Because, earlier this year, my July, I'm always working ahead, which all realtors should be doing. We should all be working ahead for the following month, because anything that we're showing right now, getting under contract now, does not mean it's going to be closing this month. It's very likely going to close in the next 30 days.
Sure.
So I noticed that I didn't have any closings scheduled for the following month, and I'm like, well, what is going on? I can't believe I haven't got anything under contract. My numbers are not going to look good, and we really need to do something about it. So instead of, I didn't have any appointments scheduled. They were in my calendar. But what I did was, hey, Irving, we're going to go out there. We're going to find business. We're going to post. We're going to reach out to past clients. We're going to see who needs to list their homes. And we're going to follow up, and we're going to make sure to get those deals done, no matter what it takes. And so that's exactly what we did. And so July ended up, this was early June, where I started to notice I wasn't going to have a successful July. And so by mid-June, I started to notice that my numbers were increasing. I went from a July that I was going to have no closings to one of my best months of the year.
And one of your best months of the year is what? 6 million.
I think it was almost 6 million, if not 6 million.
There are offices that don't close $6 million in business in a year.
Right.
But she closed the $6 million. Notices in June that July was not going to be "quote unquote" successful. That's the word she used.
So she took action.
And she took action. And so by the middle of June, you recognized that July is actually going to be pretty good.
Right.
And it ended up being a great month.
Yes.
Close 6 million. How many transactions is that?
It was a lot of transactions. I think it was maybe like 14, but one of them ended up being like a $1.5 million deal, which I don't get very often.
Okay.
So I made sure to use it and to close it. It was a listing.
And how did you get that one?
Social media.
Oh, there you go.
It was one of my, someone found me on Instagram. They reached out to me. I immediately followed up, went to the listing appointment. They wanted to meet like within the next couple of days. I said, no, let's meet today.
Oh.
And then I followed up and I asked, hey, did I get the listing? I'd love to go ahead and start working on it. And he's like, you have it. And he did interview with other agents, but he gave us the listing. And so I think it was very important that we showed up. We didn't wait. He told me, hey, I'll be available in the next couple of days. I said, no, I'd love to meet with you today. It's about doing everything right away. In real estate, I mean, people will get discouraged or they'll say, never mind, I have a change of heart, I'd rather not sell. But if you get things going immediately, I feel like that shows what type of agent you're going to be. And so I immediately started working on it, and I was able to close it the following month so it could be part of my volume. So I think it's very important. Mindset's very important, just making sure that you're putting out there what you want.
And so when you say, so here's the big thing too that a lot of people won't notice about you on the surface. You present very kind of placid, right? They don't see the aggressiveness, right? So when something is there for you, you see it's right there, you become very aggressive in making sure it happens now versus, okay, cool, yeah, we'll get together whenever. You don't want any space to grow between the opportunity and taking action right now. And I think that's a big difference between just how you, and being such an accomplished person, how you interact and how you move across your day versus the average person. The average person might see an opportunity and might be even invited to take advantage of the opportunity, but they'll kind of almost lackadaisically move towards that opportunity where you are like, I'm taking it right now. I'm not going to give anybody else a chance to get this. This is mine.
Right.
And so how then does that, so what another person will sit here and hear what you just said about, you saw that July was not going to be that great, and in June you got busy posting. And social media, let's drop anchor right there. For a lot of people, social media is a thing that everybody seems to dabble in, or kind of, I like to say play in, because I don't think everybody is very seriously or strategically working in social media. But you have done so. When you were here last time, we talked about this, but you kind of almost bumped into it a little bit, right? Irving, while y'all were out showing properties, Irving then got out and was taking pictures and doing different videos and stuff like that, and then started posting. And all of a sudden, you notice you started getting this following from that. And I even asked you, I said, well, is Irving a professional photographer, videographer? What's the deal?
Yeah.
And then come to find out, no, Irving was
Yeah, Southwest.
Did you
right. Where you
yeah.
So Irving, I'm glad you're here today, so we can ask you directly. So
Yeah, thank you.
So Irving, how did you get to? Because when I look at the stuff that you post for Connie, and even when I go back to probably when you first started doing it, I can't tell it's done by somebody just using their iPhone and kind of a novice at it. So how do we get to the point where we say, okay, let's take advantage of this? So how does it even start when you first do your first house for Connie, taking pictures and stuff? How does this start?
You know what? We really try to be smart with our time. So whenever we're out showing, if there is another house that's available on the same street, like, hey, go show the house and I'll go record this house. That way, like, we're probably not going to be in that part of town for maybe another week, another 2 weeks, but at least we have something to take as a post for next week. So honestly, I let her do her thing. If there's nothing around there, then I'll join her for the showing, but I'll let her do her thing, and then I go to the other property and I'll start recording it. And it's honestly just with our phone. So, I mean, I have an iPhone, so people ask me, oh, what kind of camera do you use? But it's just an iPhone. It's an iPhone 14 Pro. I mean, it's the nicest one out of all of them, but before that, it was just a regular iPhone. So,
but how you started was we would show up to, I needed someone to go with me to show, right? Because I didn't want to go by myself. So Irving would drive me there or come with me because I was a teacher, right? So I was working full time as a teacher and I was going to show after school. So I didn't want to go by myself. And this was obviously the time that we were going to be able to spend time together. So I'm like, hey, come with me to the showing and you can just wait in the car. And then that's when you started recording.
Yeah.
So he would, versus waiting or going inside to the showing, he would maybe record the exterior and then he would post it. And then he just got better and better at it.
Yeah, that's really how it happened. Just because it's also like a security thing. So I mean, obviously she's a girl, and just having somebody else to like, hey, my husband's there, so I know I feel a little bit more secure about going to a showing and late at night.
Yeah, well,
especially in the fall time.
You're right. When it gets dark early.
At 5 o'clock. Yeah.
And with you getting so many requests from potential clients coming from strangers,
people
coming directly from the net, from social media, you know, you needed to kind of, I don't necessarily know who this person is, and I'm sure that helped you feel a little more secure.
Right. My husband's in the car.
That's right. That's right. And so then you get out and you start doing this, and then we thought, okay, so we'll post this to our social media page, and what were you hoping happens with that? That some people would see that house and become interested, or that would, what did you think was going to happen when you posted stuff like that?
Honestly, we just put it out there. I didn't realize that it was going to be impactful until I told Connie, hey, I'm going to post some of these houses on TikTok. And then
that was all his idea, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
TikTok.
And then from one day to the other, that video had like almost 100,000 views. This was before TikTok was like super big. Everybody was like, oh, those are for dancing and like, you know, Megan Thee Stallion. And but I was like, you don't have to dance, but let's just post the houses. And then all of a sudden we would get like, oh, I want more information about this house. And then we would send them a message or like, hey, email us or go to Instagram so we can tell you more about the property. And
so let me stop right there. So there's a big, so here's a big thing that I think we just stumbled upon. Hopefully other agents are listening to this trying to figure out how to be the next Connie Segovia. You realize, okay, so now it's about engagement. So we got their attention, but now let's engage with the person. So as they're asking questions, let us get more engaged with them. Let us answer the question, but also drive them to where we want to drive them to so that they can get more information, but we also capture the information we need, and now we can stay in touch with them. Now you're building rapport with this virtually a stranger, but now they feel like, okay, well, I kind of know this person. We had some interaction, and now I also can go back and look in. They got tons of content here, so now I feel like I kind of know them. And so now that person gets to the point where they feel like, okay, yeah, I want to work with them. I want to work with Connie. And so as you were doing that and reaching back out to people when they were asking questions, what was the process to actually reel them in and say, okay, hey, maybe we should work together. Maybe we should get together and kind of figure out what the next steps are.
Right. So then they would send me a message on Instagram, and as soon as they would send me a message, I would try to talk to them. I wanted them to get to know my personality. And so they would schedule, or they would just send me their phone number. Then that started getting really complicated to manage because there was a lot of leads that were just coming in and I couldn't keep track. Instagram isn't very easy to keep track of every message that's coming in because sometimes they'll go to the very end, or sometimes they'll, we can't find
they'll get lost in the inbox.
Yeah, so it's really complicated. So then we had, you established the candidate link.
Yeah, so we ended up integrating Calendly where people can actually schedule calls and we can designate different topics. So that gave us a lot more organization to like say, hey, I'm looking to buy, I'm looking to sell, or just, I think there was another one. Well, now you have...
We added recruiting on there too.
Yeah,
so
okay.
people, agents that want to join Monument, they'll send me a message. We'll schedule a time to talk and then we'll talk about it.
Okay, so what you're able to do then with that, so when you get that inquiry coming in, you're able to send them this link. And I'm sure you don't just send them the link like, hey, sign up.
Well, it's on my Instagram account.
Okay.
So they immediately, as soon as they see my account, they're able to click on my link and schedule a time to talk to me.
Gotcha.
So
But if
set it up.
So if they do message you, you just tell them, hey,
yes,
click on the link in my
we
my
direct them
area.
to them.
Or we'll copy it and paste it because
yeah,
sometimes people don't want to take that extra step and it
Right.
could be a lost lead. So.
Right.
But I think another thing that we integrated that I think a lot of people find value is we created a link tree, but then we made a buyer's guide. So if they have questions that maybe they don't want to get on a call with Connie first, there's a takeaway. People find a lot of value in collateral. So we said, hey, there's this buyer's guide. Feel free to check it out. Go to our link tree and download it. You can have it to reference later. And we've gotten a lot of great feedback. Like, yeah, that was very thorough. Like, I'm surprised that all of that information is part of the buying process. So,
Wow. And
So we give them information even before they talk to us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a value add, and so they see quickly your expertise. You're able to display how expert you are at this, and it makes them more inclined to say, okay, this is who I want to do business with. And so it makes perfect sense. And you also then drive them, like you said, to other content that you've also created, so they can go back and review this and see that, and even though they're interested in this particular house, they can go back and see you, whether you're talking about a first-time homebuyers payment assistance program, this, that, and the other. There's a record of you being able to talk competently on all of these different things. And so I think that's great, but I think most people miss that. They think the house is going to do all the work for them.
no.
Yeah. And in fact, and then sometimes also, they feature the house to their detriment, to where they're inconsequential to the whole process. It's like, okay, you got a bunch of houses here, but I don't know anything about Connie, right?
Yeah.
Where in this case, no, I'm going to know I'm going to know who Connie is because she's very much a part of this house tour that I'm looking at, or giving me the vital piece of information I need to how to move forward with a house like this. And so you're not strained, you're not secret agents, right? You're not, hey, I'm just push this house out here and hope that attracts people, but I'm staying way in the background.
No, I think we give them a lot. I mean, just the guide, then they actually get to see reviews from past clients on our platform as well on Instagram. I have all my clients write us a review after closing, and that's something that I'm able to publish on Instagram. They also see past clients, their pictures from actual closing. So these are real clients. These are real people. Right. And I've even had some that will reach out to some of my past clients if I tag them, and they'll ask them, hey, how was the process working with Connie and her team?
That makes nice.
So yeah, we have clients being champions for us because they'll talk about their experience, and it makes the whole process a lot easier, and it makes it seem like, they already know what kind of person they're going to be dealing with because they're talking to the direct source, which was the consumer.
Absolutely. That is great. Nice. Irving, what were you doing before? We talked about this before, but what were you doing before you started helping Connie full time?
So I used to work at Southwest Airlines. I was an account manager. So basically, I would have a territory of companies that in the Northeast, and the whole goal was to increase our market share. So it would be a business-to-business relationship, where now it's a business-to-consumer relationship. So it's completely different, but basically it was still sales, and it was just about a matter of growing our Southwest footprint in the Northeast. But before that, I was also at IBM, so I used to sell cloud services. So I was in tech, and I was there for about 2 years, and at Southwest for 4 years. So everything after college has been sales related, marketing related, which I think just works so well into transitioning over to real estate. And I think that's helped us out a lot, just complementing each other, where maybe someone doesn't have a strong, like for the marketing, right? So yeah, that's kind of what I was doing.
When did you guys decide, okay, it's time for me to leave Southwest?
Well, we didn't want to lose health insurance.
Yeah, I know, the benefits.
Or flying.
Right.
So. Well, we didn't have time to fly because we were always working on weekends, so.
Yeah, so that kind of sucked. We never even got to use one of the main perks of flying with Southwest. But I think it was, so I left last March, right? That was
2022.
2022, and then we just came to a point where Connie was like, hey, I'm really busy. Like, we had a tough conversation. Like, I need help. And it made sense for both of us. Like, I can use my time better in our business and grow our business together. So it just made sense that whatever we were going to lose, we were going to recuperate tenfold if we were just both in it like 100%. So, yeah.
It worked out.
Yeah, and it's not like you were at Southwest Airlines doing marketing, right? No. But you come into this like a marketing expert. Yeah. And I think now it's because you actually have the time to really dedicate to figuring that part of the business out. And so when you became part of the full-time part of this entity, you were able to really take your marketing up to a whole other level, because now you know how to do. You went from just taking the pictures on the camera to learn how to do edits and all that kind of stuff. How long did it take you to figure that stuff out?
You know what? It's trial and error too. So like some of our first videos didn't look that great, but they started getting better. But you know what I like using? I like using TikTok it's like a repository for learning. It's similar to YouTube. There's so many ways to you can actually learn how to properly edit things, what apps are free, what apps are not free. And everything that we use is on a free app. So it's CapCut. So there's literally zero monetary investment besides the phone that you have to really commit to. And so it's just been trial and error. So yeah, I mean, we learned as we started posting. Yeah.
Sure. And so then how are you able to now count on X number of leads are going to come from this every month? Do y'all have it down to that, or do you because you're obviously getting tons of leads from it, but what do you think your business now is comprised of? What percentage of them are social media leads?
I think it's about 50%. But also we keep in mind, we'll go record a house, and depending on what area it's in, those are the type of clientele that we're going to receive.
Gotcha.
And we'll have a lot of people that are not very serious too. I mean, we just have to screen them.
Yeah.
So they'll reach out, they'll set up a time to talk. We talk, and I feel like there's certain clients that will it's a very long conversation. They get all this information from you, and then they ghost you. They don't answer your calls anymore. They don't answer your emails, text messages. That's it. They just wanted to know all the information.
Right.
So we want to make sure that we're keeping, we're providing information, we're being helpful, but at the same time, we want to make sure they're going to commit to us, to working with us. So we provide our value, and then at that point,
It's up to them.
it's up to them. Do they want to work with us? Well, here's the rep agreement, and then I will share with you the neighborhood where you saw that video. Because if not, what makes me think that you are going to work with me, even though I presented all this information and told you what the process is like. So very important to keep that in mind too. We're not just recording and providing all this information to clients. We're making sure that they're going to come back and work with us.
Right. It's a business. At the
It
end of the
is.
day, it's a business.
I mean, we take hours recording content, driving, really. I mean, because these neighborhoods are not close.
They're
So we're
further out.
literally in the car all day. That's our office. So we're driving an hour away to record content. Sometimes we are meeting with the client, which makes it a lot easier. Sometimes we're not. So we just spent 3 hours of our day recording one house because of including the drive, and then still having to come back home and edit and post it. So it's very time consuming.
Sure.
So we're not just going to be giving away all this information.
Right.
The commitment.
And so the other half of your business is made up of what? I know you got a lot of referrals.
I do.
I know a lot of your past clients.
Yes.
And even not just past clients, there are people who just know you, haven't done a real estate transaction with you, but they
still
know
recommend
you.
me.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I just had 2 days ago. I was doing an orientation with a client. They're about to close this week on their home, and I'm like, "Hey, how did you find me?" And she's like, "You know what? I found you on Instagram, but I was talking to one of my with one of my coworkers, and my coworker says she knows you, and she pulled up her Instagram, and I'm like, well, I don't know her, but she did follow me,
All right.
so it just gave her more reassurance that she should work with me.
Right.
So I'm like, great, awesome.
Well, it works because we've actually had, even when you first got to how long were you in that monument?
Since
now?
March.
Since March. Okay. So one of my first interactions with you happens to be at one of the recruiting meetings. We were having a recruiting meeting, but it was a meeting where we had agents who came in who were interested in coming in. And so one of the ladies was sitting there, she was looking at you while we were talking, and she kept staring at you. And I noticed that. I was like, what's she staring at her like that? And so then you introduced yourself, and she stood up like, yeah, I know you.
Yes.
I follow you on Instagram. I was like, golly. I was like, is he a fan or what? I was like, really? That's what they do out
And
there?
now look at you.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess I'm kind of the same way. I guess I would have been out there like that. I would have like, wow, that's Connie Segovia. I would have been like, yeah, maybe I would have been out there like that too. But I got to see it, right there, and I was like, she didn't know her, but that woman acted like she felt like she knew you, right? And
I was about to say, social media is power. People really think they know, like, oh yeah, I know that person. No, you don't even know that person.
It is, but here's the thing though too. So I've seen it, social media can cut both ways. So the deal is, I think what makes it work for you all is because it's a very authentic situation. So it's not, we play hard and we work hard, we play hard, all this stuff y'all do, right? That's the real you. But there are a lot of people out there. I hope I'm not,
Uh-oh.
Let me, I'm not. Listen, everybody, I love the fact that everybody's got their stuff out there and a lot of good stuff. But it's I don't know if y'all.
They're living a fake lifestyle. Is that what you're trying
Yeah,
to
and there's a lot of that.
It's more in your face, and you can tell it's not authentic, like you said.
You can tell it's not authentic, and then let's say even if you thought it was authentic, and then they end up somehow meeting the person, they realize, man, dude, really? First of all, they don't even know they don't even know if it's that person,
Wait
right?
a minute, are you talking about filters?
Well,
She's like,
no.
That too. I feel like that's a lot of. There's a lot of that.
I got in trouble talking about filters all the time. So filters. I didn't say this. That was somebody else. So filters. So I'll tell you exactly what I said. I said, I've met people before. I said, it was kind of like the movie Shrek. Remember when Shrek married Princess Fiona?
Oh
And Princess Fiona looked a certain way, but he didn't know that Princess Fiona was also an ogre, right? And then so I was like, you see one Princess Fiona on social media, but then when you meet them, it's the other Princess Fiona. And you're like, that throws people off for a minute. It's hard to recover from that. It's almost like, who is who?
Literally, I could.
You know what I mean? Who am I meeting? You at this place and you looking around for the person you're supposed to meet, and then the person that you're talking to is, you're like, you looking back at your phone. Like, nah, I'm supposed to meet. Oh, okay. And you're like, okay. And so they can't even concentrate for a long time because they're like, dude,
I'm sure that's what dating feels like.
Hey, you said what?
I'm sure that's what dating feels like. Like, oh, am I?
And I feel so sorry for the people who are out there having to date in this environment because it's got to be.
Look totally different from.
It's got to be awful. It's got to be awful. But Bonita, you out there kind of dating right now? I mean, I know you. I know you're available, right? But have you experienced that?
I have not, and I think I've told you before that the best compliment I've gotten was, "Oh, you look even better." First time.
Yes, that's a good compliment.
Yeah, it's a great compliment.
But no, I haven't experienced. I haven't been, I guess, catfish. No, I've not been catfish.
Yeah, I guess you could say they are catfishing, right?
Yes, they are.
And I'll use a filter sometimes. If I'm having a day, I don't feel like putting on makeup, or I had a long night or something like. But it's very natural filter. I'm not gonna look a totally different person.
And I don't think there's anything wrong.
And
with
I would add to that.
Just
actually,
editing, basically, like photography.
Because we do edit photos, like we fix it to
but
live.
not my photos.
Yeah, no, like we'll fix it to live.
Right, she's wait a
minute.
We're not changing the face or anything.
No.
So we'll make it lighter so it can be nicer.
Something like that. Not make you a whole new face.
Right.
Right. No, I want to look like myself.
Yeah.
Right.
But I also think it's very important. A lot of realtors, and not to talk about anyone, they show their business card, their head shots. We want to make sure that when we show up to show a property, we look like our headshot.
Yeah, it's like
because
the person.
A lot of people will show up in workout clothes. They'll show up without makeup. Their hair is all over the place. And that's important too, presentation.
Absolutely.
Professional, yeah.
The consistency of that presentation, right? I've always said that that profile that you have on social media, it's like the digitalization of your reputation, right?
Yeah.
And so it needs to be consistent. It needs to be what it says it's supposed to be. And so then this is what you look like, and this is how you handle yourself online, but then I meet you and it's something totally different. I'm like, man, you've killed the deal. I can't work with you. I can't trust this situation.
And I'll make sure to always show up. I mean, I'm dressed professional. My hair's done. My makeup's done. Because I want my client to have that experience of who I am online.
Right. Absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with that. And don't get me wrong, y'all. Filters. Do whatever you can to look. I need a filter on this right now. But, you got to do what you have to do. I'm just saying, don't be a totally different person. Because that's the part that kind of freaks people out.
I've even seen personality. I know like some people, even in particular, I'm thinking of a particular person like on Facebook.
I'm not gonna say a name or anything.
No.
Okay.
No, I don't.
Made me nervous. I was like, you thinking about it too hard.
No, I'm just thinking like an example. Like there's this guy who I actually know in person, but he's like a comedian, like so much personality on social media. But if you meet him in person, like mute. And I'm like, how does that
work?
Yeah, like why aren't you the same person? I don't understand.
Well,
whatever. I think that's important because when we do work with a client, it's like we're forming a short-term relationship, but it could be a long-term relationship.
It could.
So,
Right.
or just repetitive business. So they want to make sure that
They wanna
they're
know
happy.
you.
Yeah, your real personality.
Right.
You're not faking to be someone. Are they gonna get that same personality the next time?
Right. And the person that they're going to refer, when I refer somebody to you, I want to refer them to the person I think I'm referring them to, right? Not something different.
Completely different.
Yeah. So that part's important, and I appreciate the fact that you all are just that. And so I also so some people will say, I'm very kind of conservative about certain things that I will share, because I used to think people would think, oh, you kind of trying to, do a little subtle flex and that kind of stuff. But I enjoy. So I really enjoyed you all's trip to the south of France.
Monaco.
Irving is bougie.
It's
Irving.
It's Irving. Irving's the bougie.
Yes, he's the one that plans the trips.
Okay.
He's the one that will look at where we're going to stay. He's going to stay at the best hotel if possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
But because I push him so much to like want to work all the time, he's like, okay, now we're gonna
enjoy the fruits of your labor. Exactly.
She likes the finer things in life too.
Okay, so
she's not complaining. No. She's not complaining.
Yeah, don't put that on Irving, because I'm sure.
I want to hear about this south of France.
So funny thing is, a lot of people would ask Connie like, hey, why doesn't Irving do real estate? Some of y'all might not know, but I actually just got my green card. So I had a DACA, which is a work permit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I was working at IBM, at Southwest. But in Texas, you can't be a realtor if you're not a resident.
Okay.
A permanent resident. So even though I could work, I couldn't actually get my license.
Mm-hmm.
So I just got licensed in June.
Yay.
Congratulations.
So now he's trying to travel the world. Because
Look, he's like, I can go now.
Another thing is we can leave the country.
Yeah.
We could travel within the US, but not outside of the country. So I was like, hey, Connie, there's a promo. We have a bunch of credit card points. Mm-hmm. Let's go to France, because it cost us $700 to go to France.
Yeah.
Because we use all the points.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, all right, we saved money on the flight. Let's go all out on the hotel.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
And so it was like, we still wanted to,
It was definitely the best vacation of my life.
Yeah.
I mean, it was very well planned. He did a really good job. It was a beautiful hotel.
I love it.
So we stayed at the south of France, but where we were located, it was France. But looking down was Monaco, which is its own country.
Mm-hmm.
And then to the east was Italy. Like, you can see Italy. So we could literally go to Italy, Monaco, or be in France. It was such a cool location.
Yeah.
And there's all these sports cars, amazing cars, and it just motivated us to work harder so we can keep going back.
Right.
And maybe afford one of those cars one day.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think y'all probably could already, but that's cool. And so, but I like the fact that y'all didn't mind showing that, and you didn't show it in a flashy kind of way, but it was really cool to kind of vicariously live through that, right? Because the reason I sent you a text message, and so I sent Connie a message. I was afraid she took it the wrong way, but I sent her a message because I just saw that y'all were in Monaco, right? It felt like you were in Monaco yesterday. Then I see a video the very next day, and you're showing you moving from Oak Cliff to Mesquite to Frisco, and you're showing housing. I'm like, God dang, are you back already doing this? I'm like, I said, Connie, you're doing a great job. Love what you're doing, but take some time. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. So.
And as soon as I got that text message, I told Irving, oh my God, do I look okay? Do I look like I'm not eating? Does it look like I'm not healthy? Because I think he's worried about me.
Yeah, but I was not worried in that sense. You didn't look bad at all. My point was, I mean, you work really hard, and that's cool. And I like the work ethic, and I think, I think that work ethic is what's gotten you here and will keep going. But I do believe that there is a real chance for burnout.
Oh,
and
true.
so, and that was my true concern. I was like, golly, y'all just got back. Just take a
Have you experienced burnout yet at all?
Not yet.
No. So what do you do for like self-care just to get away? I mean, I'm sure you relaxed on the vacation, of course.
Did.
Yeah.
I love going to get massages.
Mm-hmm.
So I love running in the mornings when there's time, when Irving will wake up and run with me.
I'm not a morning person to go run.
Right. He's not want to go run, but I do push him sometimes because I enjoy it. That's my stress reliever.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe a little bit of shopping, but not too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. Hanging out with my girlfriends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Having a drink with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's a nice
You have that membership at Massage MB.
Yeah. So I go
Yeah.
to my massages.
Yeah.
Okay. So you do take care of yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
But I also know that when you're working, it is kind of nonstop. So
It is.
the reason Irving drives you places is so that you can be
On my phone.
on the phone, on your computer, just kind of constantly working. And so that was my real concern. I was like, God, that is a lot. That is a lot.
It is.
Just 105 transactions already in this year. Now you still got a whole quarter left. So you're gonna bust last year's record.
I might take a break.
She could, because you can, but you probably not.
Because Al said, I need to take a break, so I might just take a break.
Yeah, we know better than that. Yeah,
you could, but you're not going to.
Not even going to entertain that. I'm like, yeah, okay, if you say so. But I know, because what's going to happen is you're going to see that number's going to keep ticking up. You're going to be like,
okay, I like
this. You're
this.
Like, I can get to, let's get to 150. Yeah. Let's go, because I know that's what you're going to do. You're going to be like, nah, I'm not.
Because even if she did stop, she would see the numbers going down. She's like, oh no, let me, like you did in June.
That stresses me out more than anything.
Yeah. You got to keep it up.
Numbers, yeah.
So, but the numbers are so crazy. So,
but I also don't encourage clients to purchase the wrong property either.
And that's true.
Yeah.
I feel like there's agents that would just push the sell.
Just to get that number, right?
So let's make that clear. You are a true advocate for.
Oh, absolutely.
Client.
If there's foundation issues, I'm gonna make sure to let them know. If there's hail damage, I'm gonna let I'm gonna let them know the HVAC system. So I'm walking, and I think that's why my clients like working with me, because I am looking out for their best interest.
Correct.
And I do tell them upfront, this is not the right property. Let's keep looking.
Correct. And so, and they know it. They feel the genuine care that you're taking with them. And so they don't feel like this is just about a dollar going to you. No. They feel like you're actually looking out for them, and you are.
And I'll tell them, because if not, I'm not going to be able to sell this property for you in the next couple of years when you call me back.
Right.
So I make sure to make that a point.
Yeah. I also noticed the other day, yesterday. I know. Look like I'm really looking at all that. I do seem like now I'm starting to look like a stalker.
I told you.
I know.
Actually, this was yesterday at 7 p.m.
I need to space it out. Act like I saw this months ago.
You got her thing on your notification.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So I saw yesterday around 6 o'clock. Now I saw you were showing up at places, and y'all were recording this. It was great, but you were gifting people who had sent you business, and it was a really cool thing. Yeah.
So I don't just shop for myself; I shop for clients. So we went to Hermes, and I'm like, hey, I really want to buy some. Yeah, these are nice gifts. So we went to Hermes and we bought.
That's why you don't.
I think she's about to say Target or.
Yeah.
No, that's how you get. Those are real. Those are real referring.
Because I really, I want them to love the gift just like I would have loved those gifts for myself.
Exactly.
So I wanted to give them that. Right. So they all texted me. They loved them. But it was so nice just to go back and share those with them. And then I got a couple of text messages. Oh wow, I love my gift. I'm gonna send you more clients. And that's not what I was trying to go with. Like that's not. Of course, I would love it.
Sure.
But that wasn't my intention for them to feel obligated to send more clients to me. But I just wanted to show them that I really appreciated them, because they could have easily sent them out to anyone else. But these are clients that I've helped 3-4 times at this point. So this is all returning business. So I do want to, want them to feel like I do really appreciate them.
Right.
It's more than, it's not a transaction per se. It's more of an experience. So the working with Connie and Irving is more of an experience and not just a transaction. So that's what makes it a lot different than what happens in most cases for people.
Right. One of those clients invited me to their wedding in San Miguel de Allende, and we literally didn't pay. The wedding was beautiful, and they hosted us even a day before and then the day after. This was a lot of money that they spent, and we were one of their invites. So that was amazing. So I value those relationships because now it's a friendship.
Yeah.
Right. And those relationships will, we said this the other day on Good Morning Monument. We took a quote from, what was the guy's name? The Black Godfather, has the special on Amazon Prime. Just died not too long ago. But anyway, so real famous guy, very influential, helps a lot of people. And his philosophy was that he got into a jam years prior, decades prior, and there was a man that he had helped do something else. But when he was had an issue, a problem, he went to that guy and just told him, hey, this is my situation. And before the phone call was over, the guy had taken care of the situation. that he was talking to, and he didn't really call him to do that. He called him to, hey, can you advise me on what I need to do to handle this? And the guy told him, hey man, look, in this business and in life in general, you can either have problems or you can have friends. And he said, but if you have friends, you don't have problems. And that's so true. Basically he was saying that, hey, look, I'll reciprocate. You've been a tremendous friend to me. You've done all this stuff for me. So if I have an opportunity to help you, do something for you, that's what I'm going to do. And so what a lot of people fail to see or understand in our business, is real estate business, even in transactions that you don't get, the ones that didn't happen with you, but, and I'm sure you've had this happen in your,
I have.
If you have somebody's done a transaction with somebody else, they could have done it with me. And then the moment it goes sideways, and all of a sudden that's when I hear from you.
Yeah.
And then you end up pulling them out the ditch. Yeah, you pull them out the ditch, and you know, in the back of your mind, you're like, hey, if it got with me at first. But doesn't matter, because you got a friend in me. I got you, right? And so the deal is, it's all about relationships. It's all about nurturing relationships and being significant inside of those relationships, and the business will come. And you won't have those issues of, I don't have any business going on. You can pick up the phone right now and call all these people and say, hey, look guys, I need some business. Things are drying up right now. Who do you know that I need to reach out to? And they will tell you, because look, I got you, Connie, right? But most people don't see this in that way. They
just see it as a transaction.
See it as a transaction, or they sit back and, hey, I need somebody to send me.
They wait for the business to come to them.
They want to just drop in my lap, right? But that's not how you move.
No, not at all. We got to go out there and put in the work.
We're definitely proactive we're intentional about what we do. So, because there could be a month where there could be no business. So if we're not working, that's not going to come to us. Right. It might, but we don't want to bet on that.
And I mean, there'll be a day or two where we don't have any appointments, and that's okay, but we still have to fill up our calendar. That doesn't mean we're going to sit on the couch and watch TV all day. That means, hey, let's reach out. Hey, let's follow up. Let's find something to do. I talk to agents all the time, and I'm like, hey, what do you have planned on for next month? Oh, nothing. Okay, well, what does your schedule look like tomorrow? Oh, nothing. I don't have anything going on. Well, what time are you going to wake up? 10:30. Excuse me?
So
Irving's like, that's kind of me.
Irving's like, I wish I could do that.
Yeah, Irving's like, that would be nice.
Wait, what time do you guys wake up anyway?
We wake up at 7.
Okay. And then what time do you usually go to sleep?
Like midnight. Midnight 1.
Okay.
Yeah, because if we're out showing, we're out showing till like 8:30, 9.
And you got probably some in the offer.
And then we have to go home and make food if we don't have any food, or pick something up, and then we relax, and then we fall asleep.
So do y'all do relax? So that's my question.
Okay, yeah, because I'm thinking they just go home, still working, editing videos, and then they go to sleep. Okay, so y'all do, that's good. Y'all have a pretty good balance.
It's not that bad. People probably think I'm going crazy, but I'm not.
That's good. Okay. She's easily selling these hundreds of houses.
I do have a virtual assistant that helps me. Okay. So sometimes she helps me with offers, with listing, with putting up listings. Okay. So I do have help. Nervy's driving me.
Yeah,
and also we have our team.
Now I have a team too, so they help me out.
How many is on your team?
8.
Okay.
I have 9 agents on my team now. 9 agents, and then I'm also recruiting, so I'm also helping those agents that are joining Monument.
Which is good. And so anybody who is looking to, because we get a lot of real estate agents who listen to this who aren't necessarily at Monument, and I always tell people that there's a real estate brokerage for you, right? And it might not be Monument. I think Monument is the best that's out there by far, but I also think it's who you have the relationships with in those particular brokerages. And so I would say anybody who's trying to come to Monument and they got a chance to get with Connie, I would think that would be a phone call you would want to make. You would want to reach out to Connie to kind of say, hey, look, I see that you're doing things that people don't do. I want to know how your relationship with Monument is helping make that happen, and just kind of figure out if this is the place I want to be, but they need to talk to somebody like you.
Right. And also, I don't know if you're aware, I do classes with the people that I'm recruiting. So I have classes with my team and with everyone I've recruited to Monument so far. So we'll do classes about so many different topics. The first month we did farming, then we did a social media class. We went over, one of the classes we went over a closing disclosure, because you'd be surprised a lot of agents don't know how to explain that to their clients.
Sure.
Or lenders don't even explain it.
Yeah, lenders don't explain it.
Yeah.
And so I always make it a habit to, when I do the final walkthrough, that we go over that closing disclosure so they know exactly what they're signing at closing the following day. So we did a class over that, and I mean, we're always putting classes together to make sure that we're also giving value to the people that we're recruiting to Monument.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And so
we stay busy.
Yeah, y'all stay. That's an understatement. Y'all stay busy. So, what is the next? So how do we plan this thing out? Because you're doing such phenomenal business. Is there a place where you see a point where, okay, enough's enough. We're good. We're if we do this number of transactions, we can kind of put it on cruise control and go from here. Or is it always going to be trying to do a little bit more, accomplish some more, do bigger things?
What do you think, Irving?
I think there's always an opportunity to grow. I mean, there's a sector of business that, like, for example, like high-end luxury that we could potentially go into, or even maybe doing flips. We've done a remodel before, but I think right now, maybe I'm speaking for both of us, but I don't think we have a end goal to say, hey, we're going to go on cruise control for anytime soon. Maybe when we have kids. But I don't know.
I do too.
Yeah.
I think it'll come. I think we will feel it. We will feel like, hey, we can get that chill out.
Yeah. But I think you have built in the flexibility to be able to make those adjustments as your family grows, as you're building your team. It sounds like you're putting together the pieces necessary to be able to accommodate whatever the life changes are. So the sky's the limit. I think you guys can do.
I know, and there's so many opportunities. So many opportunities. I mean, look, Irving just got his residency. That's a huge accomplishment. And he's been able to accomplish so much without it. Like there's a lot of people that will say, hey, I don't have legal status. I'm just not going to work, or I'm just going to, not do much. And so that never stopped him from having goals and getting a degree and having a good job. And I think we motivate each other. So yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of opportunities out there, and we just don't know what's coming next, but we're going to keep going.
Well, that's good. I mean, I'm very impressed. Most husband-wife teams that I've seen before generally don't
work so well.
Yeah, I mean, they
Irving's my best friend. I mean, we've known each other.
I was going to say the successful ones are the ones that, like, that's how I know. Like, y'all are best friends. Y'all actually enjoy each other, because us other ones. What are you about to say?
I was going to say.
What do you see?
I've seen others that it doesn't work like this. This is perfect, right?
Or
here.
I've seen, I'm sure, and I know you've seen too, where like how you are already selling, and the husband may get jealous or feel neglected, and you know he was very supportive from the very beginning. Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of my success is thanks to Irving. I can't be selling and recording content and following up and driving.
Yeah,
that's the worst. Like I need him in order to sell this many houses. I wouldn't be able to do it without him.
Right.
So, and I want him to feel like I need him.
Right.
Yeah. So we have to define like responsibilities that have contributed to our success. So, and it's only going to go from there.
Yeah. Well, it's obvious that, I mean, you all have found the formula. And then Connie, I do want you to give your information. So if anybody needs to reach out to you, in particular, if real estate agents who want to come over to Monument need to touch bases with you, because there is there's a huge, and here's the thing, y'all don't really know how huge that is for somebody who's doing the level of production that Connie's doing, to bring people into the business and coach them as well. She's not at an additional fee or anything like that. She's doing this because she's taking on the responsibility. If she's bringing you into Monument, she wants to make sure that you're successful at Monument.
Exactly.
So she's doing all this stuff. So just the ability to get that is worth thousands upon thousands of dollars.
Thank you, Al. I'm glad you're
And
saying that.
it is.
It is.
It's worth. It's worth
It really
no
is.
fewer than $50,000 a year.
And they can easily make that.
Oh yeah.
Easily.
But I'm saying you giving them something
That's worth that.
worth $50,000.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm glad yes, because I feel like a lot of agents don't realize the support. We all motivate each other. It's not about who's selling more.
Right.
It's about what can we learn from each other to be able to become successful. I mean, there's things that I see from all these other agents, top producing agents, that I want to implement in my business because maybe that's something that I'm missing. So I think we're all learning from each other, and it does help to be around those agents that you look up to.
Without a doubt.
You always say that there's business out there for
Yeah,
There is. I don't know everyone.
Yeah, your
I
clients
can't,
are my
man.
clients. Yeah.
No, I can't.
and you don't want to work with it.
There's
And I
plenty-
don't want to work with
yeah.
everyone. There's some clients that I'm like, they're stressing me out, and you know what? It's not worth it.
Absolutely.
And I will choose not to work with them. I just had one yesterday that I'm like, oh my God, this is too much. They're going to cost me.
You know,
too much.
like
Time
the
and
opportunity
stress.
cost of like maybe helping somebody else out. Is it going to be worth the time that we invested?
Right.
Sure. Absolutely.
It's going to cost me my sanity.
Yeah, and you don't want to do that. Right.
No.
So how can people get in touch with you? I know you got a billion. We know your
right.
Insta. I'm not going to say it, so because I will like, y'all gonna reach Connie yet? No, I'm not going to do that. I'll let
Please
you.
go follow me on Instagram, Connie_Dallas_realtor. And now Irving is also on Instagram. So go follow his page as well. And then we're also on TikTok. You know, we don't check
Well,
our
what's
Facebook.
Irvin's page though? You didn't say.
You're going to find him on Connie's
You can-
page.
I mean, he's
Right.
she sure
It's
is.
Irving.Segovia.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know his
Right.
handle
Yeah.
yet.
That's why that's why she.
That's I didn't say it. Okay.
And what's TikTok? What's TikTok you said?
I think it's Connie Realtor.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't have a TikTok.
But Instagram's more fun.
It's just more fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's more fun.
Well, I tell you what. If you need to buy a house, sell a house, whatever, I mean,
Reach out to us.
She's got room to do it. I don't know how. She's got room to help you. And then obviously, if you want to get serious about your real estate career, and maybe you're not where you want to be, and you know there's levels to this. You've also learned that this thing is just like playing chess. It's not checkers. And you may have thought it was another game, but you need to talk to somebody who knows how to help you make this thing happen. Connie would be a great resource for you. So anyway, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us for a little bit today. This
Thank
is
you for
really
the
cool.
invitation.
Yes, thank
Oh,
you.
anytime. And we also know that, I'm put the pressure on y'all now in front of everybody that Connie actually should be hosting her own podcast. Yeah,
Irving, you want to help me with that?
yeah, Irving can help you get that done.
Is this studio available?
It most certainly
Oh.
is.
Yeah.
It most certainly is. We already got the place. I mean,
Right.
we can decorate it differently if y'all need it to have a different look. But
That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. There's a wealth of knowledge that you have that people need to hear, and it always have to be real estate. I know you've got interests that go beyond real estate,
absolutely.
and but people would like to hear from you. Huh?
I said fashion.
Yeah, fashion. You always kind of decked out. Both of y'all kind of matched up today.
I didn't get the all black
Oh,
memo.
yeah, you're
Oh,
right. Black too.
Oh wow!
I usually go black, but I'm like, I didn't get the memo. Thanks,
Lady,
guys.
kinda-
That's all right.
Yeah, you kind of messed up our shot. Yeah, I'm on Team Segovia. Look, I'm part of the crew. But anyway, y'all, we appreciate it. If you like the episode, please like, share, subscribe, all the stuff you're supposed to do. But anyway, what are they supposed to do again? So,
You got it. Like,
Okay, I
share,
did.
subscribe, comment.
comment, do all that
Yeah.
good stuff. Y'all, thanks again for
Thank you
hanging out
for
with
having
us, and
us.
we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.
Yes.